I'm super excited for this one because I was finally able to find a new band, enjoy their sound, and not be disappointed by the fact that their band just magically disappeared 10 years ago. A few days ago, I stumbled upon a fairly small progressive group from Finland called External, and I listened to their song Lucid off of an album called Dreamscapes that they put out earlier this year, and I was super impressed with their sound and the composition of that song. It was very dreamy, very hopeful. It had elements of Vola within their construction of it and the production of it as well. Upon talking to the band briefly, I was able to find out that Asger from Vola actually produced the album, so the connections are there, the influence is there, but it all sounded incredibly fresh, incredibly inspired, and very exciting for a band that seems fairly young and fairly new into the scene. Their debut kicked off in 2018, and this is only their second full-length album since then. So really, I'm just excited to check out this album because I don't know anything about their sound. I don't know anything about their past work. All I'm basing this off of is this one song that really impressed me. So I'm hoping the album can hold up like that. I'm hoping the album has similar moments and similar elements. But if Asger's producing the album, then there are plenty of good things to come, I'm sure. So let's just check out Dreamscapes by External and see what they have to offer. They only have about 600, maybe 700 monthly listeners on Spotify. And that is just not enough, even just for that song alone. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to check out a band that many people have not. This will be Dreamscapes by External. Let's see what they have to offer. Starting out with a lot more energy than that song I listened to. Lucid was a very slow burner, wasting absolutely zero time. High octane power. It is very cinematic, like I was saying. Reminds me of the intro to a Distorted Harmonies album, song Downfall. Starts the album in a similar way. Ooh. I love that melody. Damn. Oh, beautiful drum groove, so tasteful, man. Bring it, please. Oh, shit. Oh, there it is. The euphoria. That was beautiful. The best part of the song for sure. Lots of build up to that. I don't even mind the harsh vocals before it because that contrast of the brightness in that part. Oh, it popped out. It stands out compared to the rest of the song. Kind of the mixes of the melodies and the intensity, the syncopation, kind of feels like a bit of a hybrid between maybe a Voyager and a Haken style. But they've made it sound like their own. You guys know how I feel about harsh vocals, but those felt pointed in a way, or like there was a, it feels like there's a message involved in there somewhere. I've started to grow to appreciate them and understand them a little bit more over time when it feels purposeful. Because this guy can clearly sing, there's clearly artistry here, there's clearly a message between this whole thing. This has a somewhat similar feel to the first song as well, though none of these feel very similar to Lucid that I heard. But clearly they're able to portray their art in multiple ways, so the screaming doesn't bother me as much as when it's just, that's their only way of saying what they have to say, because I feel like there are far more interesting ways to do it. Ooh. It's very bright. That was a nice chorus. Very solid. The vocals were very enunciated, which is an interesting, contrast to what I'm used to hearing, but it definitely stood out. The synths were a nice little touch. Ooh, a little bit of a darker feel to this verse. That little synth just kind of finishes the arpeggio that the vocals are starting. It works, man. And there's the kind of Vola influence that I love to hear. It's not overdone. They're not robbing their sound at all, but it's those little details that take, it from a good idea to a realized idea. Oh, some much needed breathing space on the album as well. Always a good sign. Often that breathing space and that balance comes as a band matures. There has been some busy instrumentation, but I'm glad they were able to bring it back a little. Woo! Oh, we're hitting all the offbeats today. Synth work. Beautiful. Hell yeah. Yes. More of that, please. That was so sick. How much I love when bands can overlay their synths and guitars, their riffs, have them speak to each other in a different language that complement each other like that. That was beautiful. The perfect climax to a song like that. Very tasteful. Very tasteful. The drumming has been excellent. Not overdone, but plenty of vision to it. Ooh. Wow. It's a 7/8, but man, he's making the groove even more interesting in there, hitting all the offbeats like I was saying. Ooh. Ooh. Hello, falsetto. Welcome to the party, my friend. It's syncopated, it's angled, but it doesn't feel robotic, too. It has plenty of feel. Oh, what the... Ugh. Oh, that little triplet roll. Woo! Did they change the key on that chorus or is this the same as the first one? God, I love that. I can't tell if that's just because the riff was such a contrast, but I feel like the chorus sounds a bit different from the first one, at least in the pitch. This might be my favorite one so far, depending on how we go out. Not even halfway through the song, plenty of room. Ooh. This is building. We're going somewhere. Take me to the stars, boys. What the hell is the timing? Wow. Oh. Amazing. The best song on the album so far. Has that kind of lullaby feel to it. It's warm and comforting. And this is where it all began right here. This song is brilliant. Just the last, I believe, it's just 16 bars, that climax, that melody with all the vocal harmonies and the way it's structured, the chord progression. Just for that alone, I've listened to this song like 20 times at least this week. Just can't get enough of it. But I love the stillness of this, and I love the bass tone. Kind of feels like a Jaco Pastorius kind of bass tone. And it's beautiful. But even this part coming up here, plenty of room to breathe, but the little synths. The perfect detail. And this is what reminded me the most of Vola in the best way. Dreamy sci-fi prog metal that just gives you the warmest hug, warmest embrace. These vocals melt me every time that are coming up, man. Probably still my favorite, but honestly, you don't hear a song like this every day. How can this not motivate you and uplift you? And the Vola falling into place is such a Vola infliction, but done in their own way. And actually, I will take that back. I won't just say that's purely a Volaism. That's a kind of progression that's standardly used. It's not theirs to claim, but it's one that I think sounds beautiful in any context, and these guys made it sound just beautiful. Still my favorite track, even though I thought the third track was excellent. Whoa. We get like a whole different kit for this one. We got like the brass snare and it's tuned differently, but sounds just oh. Oh my God, that tone. That tone is disgusting. Asger's mixing is gold. Perfect for whatever they were trying to portray with this, you can just tell. This is creative as all hell. I love that these guys aren't afraid to take any risks. Oh my God. What the hell? Dude. I love these guys. I love all of you. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, talking about Dreamscapes, Sudden Waves, fitting name for the album and a fitting name for this song. The way it's ebbing and flowing everywhere, sudden sharps, sudden transitions, different dreams, different moments. Changing sporadically like a dream. But the other songs are very whole and realized and stick to one or two ideas that talk the same language. Which is kind of nice. It's interesting that the kind of the break in between, the instrumental break, is a lot busier than the more melodic storytelling tracks. But oh, talk my language. I love saxophone so much, especially in progressive music. We still have the water running. The balance in this track is ridiculous, man. I'm at a loss for words. The saxophone sounds ridiculous too. This mixing is amazing. Asger could easily mix the Vola albums on his own. So this actually is kind of acting as the chorus, just no vocals. Beyond impressed with this. Oh my God, we got a bell breakdown. Ah, the tone is ridiculous. Treat to my ears. That was the best instrumental track I've heard in years. Probably since I'll Tell You Someday by Pliny. God. That was so inspired. I love it. Love it. Once again, talk my language. Little triplet chords just moving around. It makes it so danceable. They have this formula down. I have to say, I wish Claymus were more like this. Especially with the vocals, and how versatile the vocals are in this album. The vocalist has shown many different chops. He's shown he knows how to hit those falsettos, different styles, different intensities. He can create beautiful harmonies. He can not sing for a 6-minute track. He's got it. Once again, beautiful syncopated groove. The drumming isn't short of anything. It's just beautifully done. The grooves remind me of kind of the flavor of grooves you'd see on Hindsight Notes by Cold Night for Alligator. It's very inspired as well. Very tasty grooves. Easy to move around to. And very specific for each song, while keeping the same energy. Oh. Yes. Bands like this make me realize just how much I appreciate synths in this modern prog scene. You need it to be refreshing, and you won't find, a song that's truly hopeful and dreamy and just motivating, inspiring without these synths. They carry so much of that emotional load. Lovely transition. Oh, making the switching between just the modulation of the time signatures, fusing it so beautifully to switch to this kind of 4 instead of the 3 over. Damn. Very professional for a somewhat young group, man. Oh, we have a girl singing in there? Is there a feature? What song does this remind me of? This part reminds me of something, but I've lost me right now. I'm lost in it. The synth part is amazing. Carrying this song forward completely. And you haven't really seen any harsh vocals since the first song, which is... It makes me wonder more and more what they were talking about in that song, but I do appreciate it too. I know that's a very personal thing, but it really helps me, helps me feel confident that they have some sort of important message in that first song. Something intense going on. And it leaves me more open to there being more. We have entered a very different dreamscape here. Different tone, different vibe, different energy, different emotion. Ugh. Very different. The guitar tone is disgusting. Ooh. The bass tone, my God, bro. So jumpy. Incredible riff. This is very haunting from what I've heard so far. But we also did get a jazz fusion influenced track with piano and saxophone solo laced in between riffs with a bell breakdown, so... Yeah! Chorus! Yeah, I will definitely be looking at some lyrics later. For a lot of these. There it is. Oh, here we go. That was actually sick.
Every direction is a dead end. Everything reminds me of something I never wanted to let go. Although now I know I should, but still don't want to.
Why am I feeling this, dude? Thought I hated harsh vocals. There was some great oomph just behind that. And the transitions into the riffs, the drops, that was sick, dude. They're showing an incredible amount of range on this album. Bro. Fuck. Oh. That snuck up on me so hard. Whoa! I'm pausing. Give the drummer a raise right now. Right now. Right now. I don't usually play stuff again. I'm playing stuff again. Not even gonna say anything. Just listen. Ridiculous, dude. Wow. Oh! Woo. Straight banger, bro. Oh, the ghost notes. Layers. I know Asger loved this one, bro. Damn. Unbelievable. Yes. 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 Some albums might be in trouble this year around. I've been impressed with everything I've heard. I really have. Again, very different Dreamscape.
Whatever it is to make this, I'm on the run from it. Running the company system we should have been. My dreams are where I escape. What's left behind is free to take.
I'm okay. I'm keeping as open of a mind as I can. I'm not sure if this one's for me. I take back everything I said. I'm sorry. I need the story of this album right now. Jeez, can't get more point blank than that. Was that the whole... Oh shit, that's a short one. Wow. From 2 minutes to 12 minutes we go. Oh, whoa. Oh, those synths are so cool, dude. Beautiful syncopated groove again. Skipping its way around the time signature. Kind of churning. I mean, these last few songs, the album has really taken a tonal shift. It's gotten a lot darker. I believe this is the last song on the album, too. I'll leave it, but I'm very curious if this finds any sort of opal conclusion to it. Oh, it's so sweet, man. Please tell me there's some sort of drum playthrough of the song somewhere. I just need to see this and visualize this. This could be a bucket list drumming track for me. The mood shift in this is incredible. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They've done it again, guys. It's massive. It's stadium worthy. What? How do you conceive this drum part? Incredible time signatures that they're working in with this. Bending the fabric of what's possible within them. Incredible. Jesus. I love how fearless these guys are. Ah. I love how I was expecting a drop there and then the exact opposite happened. It might still be coming though. I saw this playlist that was linked to me a few days ago of like 100 submissions of like the greatest drumming ever in the genre. And I was trying to think of what I would add to it. I was struggling to just pick a few. I think this would be my submission. Whoa. There's a lot of harsh vocals for me. This one's really pushing it. What a weird transition. Have all of them once again. You don't understand how much I love this drummer. Here's a hug just for you. Just for you, drummer, if you ever see this. Oh, halftime chorus. Plenty of room for those ghost notes, baby. The structuring of the song is one of the most interesting I've ever heard. The composition, the layout of it all. Nothing except the chorus has really repeated except for maybe that little kind of breakdown section with the harsh vocals, but everything feels very similar in its tonality, in the theme of it, the soundscape of it all. I'm not ready. I'm not gonna let it beat me this time though. I'll tell you right when it's coming. They got me twice before. God damn it, bro. I thought I had it. Haven't been early before. Surely here. Oh my God. These guys know how to play with you. Woo! The synths. There's so much atmosphere. You're breaking out of the dreamscapes. Ah! Fuck! You don't get to end an album like that. You really don't. That's just not fair. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I have to say, even after hearing Lucid, that exceeded my expectations. It really did. I can tell you right now that this album and songs from this album will be featuring in my end of year videos, 100%. I'm super impressed, guys. This is, for a second album at this point in time, in the way music's moving, the way the genre is moving, for a very small band to not be afraid to take any risks and just put out something like this, of this magnitude, it takes balls. It's incredibly impressive with the amount of twists and turns that the album has. I think they laid these concepts and this amount of freedom up for themselves brilliantly with the theme and the energy around the album, the vibe of it, naming it Dreamscapes. That gives you plenty of freedom to move around. The Dreamscape can be whatever you want it to be, whether there are more focused songs that are kind of telling personal stories. There are some very personalized experimental soundscapes as well that could be just more of whatever they're feeling at the time, whatever inspires them, whatever they want to try as a smaller band as well. Experimentation makes sense. You want to see what sticks with the fans and what doesn't. And I'm very happy to say that most of it sticks for me. There is very little that I'm just brushing off here. I think the meat of the album within the first and last track is just full of so much gold and some brilliant 10 out of 10 incredible drumming crowns and tops off the entire thing. You can hear plenty of influences poking in and out, and Asger's production, of course, shining through the whole thing, making it better. But they all seem so inspired as a whole group, and it's such a diverse, interesting, entertaining listen that you get so much originality from it. That's really all that's coming off of this for me. The production, the mixing, the sound, the tone, brilliant on the airs, incredible, and definitely a selling point. I've never heard a band under 1,000 monthly listeners that sounds like this. I would say that Fall With Me, Serotonin, and Last Fading Color all have a very similar vibe to them, and on an album that's so all over the place, those are probably the three that lock it into at least somewhat of a boundary within what they're doing, within their soundscape, saying, this is where we'll come back to after we venture out a little bit between the dreamscapes. We're still here. This is still our production, our sound, our vibe, and it's something to cling on to as we go back and forth between everything else, which is Really nice. All three of those songs are excellent. The synth work on the album is creative and it's subtle. The little differences, the little additions they add. When it's in the background, it really is just bringing everything up ever so slightly, but it's the kind of synth and the kind of sound where if you were to take it out of the mix, you would immediately notice a huge difference, a huge gap, hole in the wall. It's hard not to say that Lucid still isn't my favorite on the album, just because I've already heard it a million times, and this is all just first impression, but there are so many contenders on there for me. Great, memorable choruses, melodies, but I think there's a different standout moment from each song and a different kind of direction that they can go in. They've given themselves plenty of opportunities for the future. Some songs, the chorus really is the highlight. Sometimes it's breakdown. Sometimes it's kind of an instrumental passage. I even really appreciated and loved Ghost Town. That's actually the one song between listening that I went back and listened to again just now because I was shocked that the vocals and the composition of the whole thing worked for me so well. As always, I did struggle with the harsh vocals. I always do struggle with harsh vocals, but not as much as I normally do, and I seem to at least kind of see the vision of where they're coming from. I want to know more about the story. I want to know more about the album. I want to know more about those heavier moments, especially matched and paired with this dreamy, uplifting, melancholic, just spiral of production and goodness that comes from the rest of the album. But on Ghost House and songs like the opening track, there are those little moments of harsh vocals, and for some reason within my soul and my spirit, they just make sense. They kind of sit right a little bit in context to the whole album, and especially after seeing what they're capable of, it is a lot easier for me to accept it, even though it is still hard for me to wrap my head around the whole concept of that being in an album. It was too much for me in the last track, going and repeating that section so many times. I don't really understand how that played into the album, into the song, especially when the chorus is so uplifting. The balance between that song and all the sections, the transitions, was the most sporadic for me. It was the song that probably felt the least cohesive, although the drumming did hold every part together at least enough to get through it all. I thought there were excellent moments, and I think that's going to be the one that takes me the longest to get into. The breakdown at the end literally tore my face off. I actually had to put it back on. Excellent moments, excellent drumming, but there were a few moments like that where I just struggle to see where they're coming from, so I am very curious if anyone from the band sees this. What is the message, the motive of that final epic, and how does that kind of tie into the rest of the album with those intense moments and with those kind of happier moments as well, because there's a lot of spiraling moments, a lot of contrast. I know you can't really question or put boundaries on anything that's called Dreamscapes. That really does give you free range to do whatever feels right. I will say the only song on the album that loses me is Limbo. This trap theme of rap music is just everywhere. It's hard to find substance in it. And it's the kind of thing, the kind of element that bands like Sleep Token are bringing into the genre that are getting, kind of not outsiders, but just everyday casual listeners into more progressive music, which is good in a sense, but progressive means progressing things forward. And that just feels like it creates a shell over things for me. So you can definitely tell the band knew it was a risk. You can tell the band were just trying to do something different, because it is a very short song. They left plenty of room for it to breathe, and the breakdown at the end was sick. So I can't complain too much, but that is my 2 cents on the whole trap beat thing and that element of it. But apart from that song, man, the vocals, so incredibly layered and diverse, and a lot of people will want a vocalist in a band to stick to their chops, to what they're known for, to their tones, but this guy, he's all over the place and it works. Personally, I want to see the range of a singer, and I don't want the band to have to incorporate their instrumentals around him. This singer was able to fit whatever the soundscape, whatever the message of the song was meant to be. He was able to adapt to it and then rewrite things. They did everything in unison, creatively, and no one felt out of place. They were all willing to push themselves out of their comfort zones, and I think the singer is a great example of that, so I want to tip my cap to him, absolutely. It's one of the most creative albums I've heard in a while, and yeah, one of the best, I think, too. There's plenty of rawness, there's plenty of maturity to still hear in the band for them to grow into. It's not flawless, but this exceeded any and all expectations I could have had for an album like this. I will definitely be checking out their older stuff now, and I can't wait for more in the future. I hope to see them one day as well. But if you did get your way through this, let me know what your favorite track was. Let me know if you have heard the album before, if you know much about their older stuff, if you know anything about the story of the album, why it was created, anything about the lyrics, the tracks, the way they speak to each other, because I am just so curious. This was a fantastic listen. This was External with Dreamscapes, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.